Hi everybody, it's Shar with Shar Cats Creations, and I have something from close to my heart I'd like to show you. That's going over to my workspace and check it out. Alright, welcome to my crafty table where I have in progress this really fun thing I decided to do. I got the Picture My Life cards, which is, you might, you're familiar with Project Life. Well, these are called Picture My Life. They're close to my heart's version of the pocket scrapbooking. And these are the silver and gold cards. These silver and gold have all kinds of really fun metallic prints as well as some gray, so you can add pops of color. And what I have is I have the small 3x4 cards, and just as a sample I have this one that I've already finished up, and I've coordinated it with the silver and gold card making stamp set, which has these fun ornaments, and I have them mounted here because I've been using them. And oops, I have a wonderful Christmas already mounted because I've already used that to stamp this. Now here's the key. What I did is we have pigment inks, these lovely fun pigment inks that come in a set with the color family, you know, whimsy, fun, enchantment, etc. We have different color sets, and you buy a set and you get these little square pigment pads. And I just took and put some of this pigment ink on here. Now if you're familiar with stamping with pigment ink, it takes a long time to dry. You have to hope you don't bump it, smear it, whatever. Here's a trick. Take your detail clear embossing pattern. Close to my heart still has this particular product. This is just an old label. Don't let that fool you if you order it and it comes looking different, but just a clear embossing powder. And I stamped with that pigment ink and then put the clear embossing over it. Ta-da! I have this beautiful nice raise. It's shiny, it's bright, vibrant, and place that on top of this Picture My Life card. And I also took and stamped using some VersaMark, also available through Close to My Heart, VersaMark ink, and then I used white embossing powder on the cranberry cardstock that coordinates with the ink that I used to stamp the sentiment. Coordination, love it. And then I have willow cardstock paper here as the background. I really give it that Christmassy pop I thought was really, really fun. So this comes also, you buy this set by itself, but you can also buy it with the coordinating thin cuts. And this is where it really gets handy. You don't have to fussy cut those ornaments. Look, they fit perfectly, come out with this nice little border around that embossed image. In fact, when I did the cardstock, I get two pieces that fit an invitation size. I had to just do a little bit of trimming, and I get two that would go by the 4x6 Picture My Life cards, and they fit on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper folded in half. I just used white as my base because I figured that would be easy. A lot of times I like to write notes inside my cards, so if I have white, I know I have a standard base that goes with any cardstock color I choose. So here I have these two, and I have these two cards. Well, guess what? This is the strip that doesn't go with anything. Guess what I did with that strip? I took and stamped those ornaments using VersaMark ink here. So one of each ornament. Now I can run them through my Cuttlebug and cut out each of these ornaments, and then I'll have them to select from. And I also have that all in these other coordinating different cardstock colors that I used. I have those same strips. I can do that same thing either in white like I did with the cranberry, or gold like I did on the green, or even silver on maybe the sapphire blue. But just to give you a really quick run through of some of what these cards are. Here's this fun little card with a deer sweater kind of pattern. Here's another sweater kind of pattern. Laughing all the way. That's raspberry, silver stars. Now, If it has a metallic silver or a metallic gold, it does not have a backside. So instead you get two cards. There's supposed to be a, hard to see with stars, the landscape and the portrait mode, but because you can go either way with stars. But you have 'Tis the Season to Be Jolly here. Now this is not metallic. You flip it over, guess what? You now have the portrait mode. You can have it portrait, or you can flip it and have it landscape. They're meant for pocket scrapbooking. But they make the holiday version of these make a really fun set of cards. So this is a sapphire cardstock here, pops with that blue, and so does that raspberry. So here we go. Here I have bashful gold dots. I have bashful with silver metallic, pansy with a frame and stamp a wonderful sentiment or design and sentiment, whatever in there. Merry Everything, nice bright big bold with that pansy cardstock. Gold trees, another gold polka dot. This is emerald cardstock. This is cranberry. I have Merry Christmas, and I have a frame. Here's some gold trees portrait mode, and Merry Everything portrait mode. So I think there's 24 of each, if I'm not mistaken. But here, like you already saw, this one's Noel, Wonderland, it's deer. Now there'll be a portrait way deer. Here's some fun stripes. Here's a wreath. Like I said, I'm just going to go through these really quick. Tree, Wonderland portrait mode, tree portrait mode. Here's the deer. 'Tis the Season with some mistletoe, very fun. Here's just some fun dots. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do, but I'll probably put something in the middle of there with a sentiment, jazz, bling it up. But see, that's a fun set. Here I have all these very similar, same pattern. I use various colors of cardstock. You can do all the same color cardstock or whatever as your background, and every card is going to be unique because of the design of the Picture My Life card. Another set of stripes, the dots going this way, so I can kind of put it portrait mode or landscape, whichever way. Here's a landscape, here's a frame, go either way. This one, you can go either way with it, however, might flip it over when I go to actually assemble the card. This one kind of has that sweater mode this way and this way, if you think about how the diamonds fit usually across a sweater. But I used one piece of background cardstock and cut this to be a 5 by 8. So it has my 8.5 by 11 piece of white paper that I folded in half. So now that comes to what, 5.5 by 8.5. Yeah, and so I do a 5 by 8. So I have a 1/4 inch border all the way around, and now I have this 4 by 6 to kind of set it up. I can even offset it and put something over here and something through here. Not sure how I'm going to do that yet. That's the whole thing about this. You have something that's, everything's unique, and yet you can move through and get a whole set of cards done, be ready to give away for Christmas, which Christmas is coming up much faster than I'd like to admit. But hey, follow the, I'll have some links below this video. Follow it over to the blog, where I will also be able to show you all the results of how I put these cards together, and I'll also have links to all the products, where you can get the stamp set and stamp set with thin cuts, and also possible coordinating elements, which I will also consider using as I'm going through this. There is some white and gold twine. That would be cute. Some just white twine. Make some bows that way. We have some sparkles, clear sparkles. Nice, fun, clear sparkles. They go, of course, with silver and gold. And I also had... it ran away on me. Here we are. I have some red enamel gems, some gold pearls in varying sizes, and these come from small to large. Now the thing about thinking when you're using these kind of dimensional elements, these are tall. I would use the smaller ones if I'm mailing it. If I'm hand delivering it, I could get away with using the bigger ones. You have to consider that when you're putting these things in the mail. I usually use like a piece of scrap cardstock on the front of my card if I have gems. That way the card is more likely to survive going through the postal sorters and not getting snagged and damaged. So, and this is from the Beary Christmas paper pack. This is what's featured with it. But who says you can't use the red and the silvery glitter dots that are in here? And these are also a green. They would go if you had cranberry or something, or red cardstock on the card, even with the silver and gold paper packs. I mean, these will still go. So don't be afraid to mix things from just because it says it goes to one pack, or you have other things that kind of go silver and gold. I mean, you can put any color with it. Oops, sorry, bumped that camera. But I'm looking forward to cutting a bunch of these out, using some of this scrap paper and cutting these out and having those all available to me as I'm going through and scheming how I want that card to turn out. Because guess what? No two are going to be the same, and that's the fun part. But I don't have to go through and find sentiments for all of these cards, because many of them already have it on there, or I have some built-in options with a stamp set. So one stamp set, one set of Picture My Life cards, and I've got 24 cards. Links will be under the video and on my blog. See you soon.